How to. How to Train Your Useless Dragon by Mika Crispy on AO3. Chapter 20. How to follow the rules. Tenya had been going through a complicated time in his life. In the last week, he broke more rules than he could ever imagine himself breaking. But when one of your best friends is missing, another seems to be hiding a secret, and the rest is left behind suffering, he can't accept it quietly. Izuku has always been a special dragon amongst them. Tenya has him in the high regard. While strength in the dragon community is measured by one's ability to wield their quirk and hide their feelings, Izuku taught them power can come in many different forms. In his case, it comes as compassion, resilience, and strong emotions. If there is anything Tenya is sure, it's that Izuku would never accept to be left behind if he heard a friend was in need. Izuku would disregard every rule and every common sense just to offer his help and make sure the friend was alright. That's why Tenya couldn't wait for another second longer. Ochako had been sad without the little green dragon. It broke Tenya's heart to see her like that. And not only her. Everyone was worried. Inko was clearly just barely holding it together. Shoto was working overtime to make sure it didn't fall into the elder's ears. Hitoshi was even more reclusive than usual, so he decided something had to be done. He knew it would be against the elder's ruling, but Tenya believed the most important rule of all is the one that says every dragon is an indispensable part of their society and everyone should be protected. They need to find Izuku. Their flock is incomplete without him. Tenya isn't really used to breaking rules, so the first one he went to ask for help was Hitoshi. The purple dragon communicated to Tenya that he followed Mina for a while when she went away, but since she's bigger, faster, and he had to keep his presence hidden, he only saw the general direction she was going. Hitoshi wanted to go after Izuku as well, but he knows his quirk isn't suited for long travels. It'd be too dangerous to go it alone, and he'd never be able to defend himself against Mina if she decides his company wasn't welcome. Anyway, that was a good start. They had some idea of where to begin looking, and had 2 dragons willing to go. But that wasn't enough. They needed someone strong and with legitimate power, since they had no idea what Mina and Izuku were up to. They needed Shoto. If one of the elders discover, they can decide that what we are doing is treason. The red and white dragon thought, as emotionless as ever. But if you're here with us, they won't. We all could say we thought it wasn't an important issue enough for them, so we asked your help. Hitoshi argued. I am ready to face the consequences of our actions, but I cannot go another day without doing anything. It was clear Mina was hiding important information concerning Izuku from us. In the end, Shoto agreed. Tenya knew he would. Izuku was his best friend. He had been feeling guilty over their altercation the last time Izuku was seen. Interesting fact, actually, Izuku is everyone's best friend. He's the only dragon they all go to with their malices. Maybe the fact that they hadn't realized the torment going through Izuku's mind while telling him their own is what drove the little green dragon away. The 3 dragons got ready to fly, searching for Izuku, but someone decided she wasn't being left behind. Ochako intercepted and demanded to accompany in their quest. Tenya was against it. The girl is just as emotional as Izuku, and that could bring issues. Shoto, however, allowed, saying maybe she's the only one that could actually connect with their missing friend. It took them quite a while to find Izuku, and when they did, the situation was worse than anything Tenya could have ever honestly thought. Izuku and Mei were living amongst humans, as a human, with people who knew about them being a dragon. Honestly, not even in Tenya's worst nightmare, that was possible. He'd have half a mind of just killing the humans, race their settlement, and bring Mina and Izuku back to the archipelago to deal with it. But he couldn't move when seeing the humans' reaction with them and each other. It was amazing how their feelings were all displayed for the whole world to see, even though they didn't communicate through their thoughts. And Izuku learned how to use his quirk. Tenya didn't think that was possible at all, but apparently, Izuku and the angry human by his side are pulling off all kinds of impossible things. Shoto seems to agree because he pulled off a ridiculous, old, and unused rule to not put an immediate end to all this. And now they were all going down to the human settlement to understand more deeply what's happening. However, there is something that troubles Tenya profoundly about what he just saw. The redhead human, Kirishima, he believes, is how he's called, asked Mina to be his mate. Just like that. Out of nowhere. In front of everyone, without the proper courting dance. In daylight. Without even showing her a proper nest. Mina should have said no instantly. But she didn't. And that makes Tenya believe she wants to say yes. But couldn't, given the complicated mess of the proposal the human made. During their hike down the mountain, Tenya observes how Mina scents and pets Kirishima very lovingly, and the human does not retribute the proper way. And then it hits him. The human doesn't know how to properly court a dragon. Their cultures have been completely separated for centuries. There's no way the Viking would know. And Izuku has never been very interested in that kind of thing, so he wouldn't explain things clearly for Kirishima. Alright, Tenya will have to rectify this situation. He cannot allow his dear friend Mina to be subject to this standard courting. During the time Shoto needs to determine if they will allow the humans to live or not, Tenya will teach Kirishima how to properly court a dragon. When they got to the outskirts of the village, it's decided that they need to separate. The dragon group was too big and they would gather too much attention walking around. The process of deciding who goes with who was a huge commotion. It took blood, sweat, and tears to separate Izuku from Bakugou. But Ochako would not accept being away from the green dragon. And since Bakugou is a princess in this settlement, Shoto has debuted that proper procedures they follow. Seeing this chance to help Mina, Tenya demanded that he accompanies Kirishima. It's also taken some convincing. The redhead Viking didn't want to be away from the pink dragon. But since Zero still seems to be in some kind of shock, everyone agreed that he would be paired with Mina, as the boy wasn't scared of her so much. That left Hitoshi and Kaminari, and they're all set. As soon as everyone scattered around, Kirishima turned to Tenya with a little anxious. Is there something specific you'd like to see? Izuku and Mina really like checking out books, and the food. Kirishima, I'm here to help my friends, Tenya says, determined. I thought I'd help Izuku, but I cannot ignore the fact that Mina seems to be in dire need of my assistance. What? Why? Is she okay? The Viking asks, worried. Not after that awful display of courting you did. It was embarrassment. Tenya protests, and Kirishima looks at him sadly. I just thought you were gonna kill us. I didn't want to hide my feelings. Kirishima explains, emotionally. Well, I do appreciate the feelings. And if we had followed the proper protocol, you all would have died. However, the execution of your mating proposal was atrocious. I cannot stand by idly watching my dear friend Mina put with this kind of behavior. If you want Mina's to be your mate, you ought to do the proper courting ritual. Wait, what? So this means you aren't going to kill us anymore? The redhead asks, confused. That is to be determined. Shoto's the only one who has final decision about that. He is a newly appointed elder and has power over ruling and regulations. Then you're gonna help me court Mina, even though you might have to kill me in a few days. Kirishima seems even more doubtful and confused. Humans really aren't particularly smart. Of course, as I said, I'm here to provide assistance to my friend. There doesn't seem much I can do about Izuku's situation, but I won't turn my back against Mina's struggle. I still don't follow, man. How can it be in the rules to help me court her, but be out of the rules to, let us know you exist? It's going to be a lot of work to make the Viking understand the delicate intricacies of the courting ritual. But Tenya won't give up without trying his best. It is simple. There isn't any kind of ruling against humans and dragons mating. Probably because no elder ever thought it was possible, but nonetheless, rules are rules. That being said, have you danced? Danced? Yes, the mating dance. The last step of the courting ritual. Since you seem to be doing everything in the wrong order, I need to make sure you haven't danced, or else this would get much more complicated. No, we haven't danced. Will you really help me court Mina the proper way? Kirishima looks at him with an expecting expression. I most certainly will. I will not let Mina go through a bad courting, Tenya says with certainty, and the Viking jumps to hug him. Thank you so much, dude. I'd really appreciate it. I've been totally lost about how to woo Mina. It's gonna be great to have help. A red fish? Kirishima asks, doubtfully. It is recommendation. You need to give her a fish that's hard to catch to represent how she's worth the effort. You can't give her a moonfish and expect her to be impressed. Jenny explains to the silly human. So I need to personally catch the fish? Kirishima scratched his face thoughtfully. We'll have to get a boat for that, and it may take a while. I don't think there are any special fish close to the continent. No, the closest redfish shoal is about 4 hours flying from here. Tenya adjusted his glasses. We have to go soon, then. Flying. 4 hours. That'll make it at least 6 by boat. If I stay away half a day like that, Bakugou's gonna kill me, man. Kirishima whines. Then he completes more excitedly. I know. Let's go to the market. We'll certainly find something there. Kirishima grabs Tenya by the arm and runs with him towards the center of the village. Tenya has heard about the human agglomerations, but it is quite amazing to see it firsthand. The sheer amount of things humans need to live is fascinating, and they have quite an intricate set of rules of their own. It makes absolutely no sense at all, but it's interesting to see how the humans organize their chaotic existence. Humans are very weak and feeble creatures, but at the same time are aggressive and bloodthirsty. No wonder they have so many regulations in place just to not kill each other. The young Viking led Tenya to a stand where several fish are displayed. So that's how humans share their fruits of their fishing. He knows most humans don't fish for themselves. It makes sense that they had a system to share the food later. So, which one? This is a big guy, but I don't think... Kirishima points to a silver fish. But Tenya shakes his head. That is completely unacceptable. First of all, there's no challenge in getting this fish. Second, that's the most regular type of fish out of all. Tenya protests. Kirishima, if you aren't serious about courting Mina, I must withdraw my support for your mating. No, I'm sorry. I'm sure we can find a way, Kirishima pleads. They walk around the market trying to find inspiration to overcome. Tenya takes the opportunity to try and understand the social system at play in the market. Apparently, every stand offers us sections of good, and people exchange their food for some shiny flat pebbles. Tenya supposes the humans at the stalls use the pebbles to take different goods from other stalls. It's quite a useful system. Tenya doesn't understand why the humans think they can trade pebbles with sheep. There's a stall where a human is advertising the sheep wants 20 pebbles for its wool? What would the sheep need a pebble for? Hey, the important part of the ritual is showing Mina I'm willing to work hard for her, right? Kirishima asks by his side. Exactly. You can't expect Mina to mate with someone who doesn't think she's worthy of the hard work. Alright, I have an idea. Kirishima drags him to a house, just at the end of the market, where a delicious sweet scent is coming from. Tenya has never smelled something so delicious before, and his mouth waters, even though he doesn't see any fish or fruit around. Sato, I need your help. Kirishima greets the big Viking, that they can see from the window of the house. I need you to teach me how to make takoyaki. Takoyaki? The other human scrunches his eyebrows and confused. Why do you need to learn how to make them? We have them ready to go here. I know, but help me out, bro. I need to impress a girl. Kirishima pleads, getting a chuckle from Sato. Alright, get in. Let's teach you how to make takoyaki. When they enter the house, the smell is even more intoxicating. Tenya's belly grumbles, and he almost misses the proper introduction. Tenya, this is Sato. His family is the town's bakers, Kirishima says, smiling. Sato, this is one more person from Izuku's village who came to spend some time. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Sato, Tenya says. His belly grumbles again. Nice to meet you too, Tenya. Do you want a piece of honey bread? Izuku says you don't have that in your village, and it seems to me that you are hungry. Before Tenya can protest, Shota brought something fluffy that smells delicious in his hand. It took just one bite for him to understand why Izuku and Mina were invested in protecting the human settlement. Surely, anyone who creates something so amazing can't be all that bad, right? Tenya must be sure to bring a piece of honey bread for Shoto before the young elders makes his final decision about the human's fate. Tenya may not understand how learning make takoyami will serve as the courting offers for Mina, but he can't say it isn't hard work. The process of cooking the takoyami takes over 2 hours, and in this time, Tenya sees Kirishima struggle every step of the way with Sato's instruction. No, you can't smash the eggs in. There's shells in the batter now. That's salt. I told you add sugar. Don't stir the bean paste, or else you're gonna burn. It's burned. Finally, the batter was done. The filling wasn't burned, and everything was put in an iron mold. Even though he was completely lost to what exactly Kirishima was doing, Tenya couldn't help but feel a little invested in the end product. He hoped it turned out alright for Kirishima and Mina's sake. When Sato tells Kirishima to take the takoyaki off the mold, finally, Tenya can understand what they were doing. The red-head Viking shows the dragon a perfect fish. Well, it isn't really a fish, because no fish is made out of flour, sugar, and eggs, and milk, and filled with sweet beans. But it looks like a fish, and it took a lot of hard work, so Tenya gives his approval. So, what do you think? Kirishima asks, with anxiety written all over his face. I think it is a proper gift. We can take it to Mina, Tenya says, nodding. They run around the village to find Mina and Sero. The two of them were sitting on a bench on the outskirts of the village. Kirishima asks him about 8 times if Tenya really thinks the takoyaki is alright on the way there. Hey guys, what are you up to? Dragons. There were dragons on the village. Kirishima, Sero says, apparently still not over his shock. Mina gives an awkward smile. I thought maybe some fresh air would keep away from the crowd and it would help him, but... Tenya turns to the redhead. It is time. Offer her your gift. Kirishima nods, taking the takoyaki with his 2 hands and extending it towards Mina with a bow. This is for you, Mina. I'm sorry for doing things in the wrong order. Mina blushes, making the pink on her face even more apparent, as she takes the pastry from Kirishima's hands. Thank you, Kiri. This is very nice of you. Mina smiles shyly to the Viking, and Kirishima smiles back at her. At that moment, Tenya is sure he made the right choice in helping the human court his friend the proper way. Let's go, Kirishima. We still have much more to get ready, the dragon says, dragging the young Viking away. But I want to know if she liked it, Kirishima complains, resisting against Tenya's pull. We do not have time for it. You need to find the shells, luster your scales, get some rocks for your nest, learn to dance. Kirishima waves at Mina all the way until they're back inside the village, and Mina waves back at him. I love how Tenya does not care the fact, like, hey, humans and dragons, dragons aren't supposed to tell humans their magics, and humans aren't supposed to know the dragon's magic. We're breaking so many rules, but heavens will I never let my friend not get properly courted. Can I get my friend a friend like that? Like, please? Like, someone's like, alright, you need to do this, this, and this, and this to properly court him. I need a friend like Tenya. Everybody else in the comments, who else needs a friend like Tenya? We need a wingman like Tenya. Tenya for a wingman. Let's go. Clapping, 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 clapping. So yeah, I have been gone, 1 day. So my bad on that part. You see, I got burnout. But I took a day rest. I took 2 days rest, actually. And today I am back. I'm recording this literally today. I was supposed to record this yesterday, but I got distracted. Y'all can blame the freaking Discord, okay? Y'all blame the Discord for me getting distracted, okay? I keep getting in calls with them. I keep having fun with them. We keep playing Roblox games. We keep playing games. We keep talking, all right? It's not my fault. I got distracted. By the time I realized what time it was already like 9. And it was already sleepy time. It was already time to sleep. No, let's be honest. I was like, okay, it's late. I could choose to finish all the recordings and I would go to sleep like at 1 like I normally do. And by normally, I mean I normally go to sleep at 5. But I was like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that because I was just drained. I was drained. So I decided to lay down in bed and read a fanfic. I should have read the tags. I really should have read the tags. It was a Shindeku fic and borderline Stockholm Syndrome. I'm gonna be honest with you. But at the same time, it didn't? I don't know. I was confused. I was worried. I don't know. I don't know, man. Anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.